I'm Renee Smith.
And I'm Tammy Fellers, and we're math consultants from ESDAC in Hutchinson, Kansas. Today we're here to talk about our second problem-solving deck for fraction action. And this deck is all about multiplication and division. This deck is really built for our 5th and 6th graders. The end of the deck has that division of a fraction by a fraction, which is carried into the number system in the 6th grade. But all of the rest of the deck meets the requirements of 5th and 6th grade.
So today we're going to model a couple of the cards for you just to show you how children would be expected, especially at the beginning, to model, because the expectation isn't that they go directly to the algorithm. It's that they truly understand conceptually what multiplication and division mean. And honestly, that's built on what multiplication and division mean in whole numbers. Yeah. And so we would expect them to model with a tool or a pictorial representation prior to the algorithm being used.
Introduced. Absolutely. The standards are very clear about not starting with the algorithm. Division of fractions does not require to flip and multiply.
Right.
Yes, that is the rule and algorithm used, yeah, but it can be modeled in other ways. So we're going to pick two of our cards. And our first card, which is up on the screen for you now, says Brian has 4/5 of a pound of chocolate. He wants to give 1/3 of it to his siblings. How much of a pound of chocolate can he give them? So if I'm going to model that, I need 4/5 of a pound. So I'm going to grab some Unifix cubes. And I use the green to represent my 4/5. He doesn't have the red one. I'm going to use that to represent my whole of 4/5 of a pound. Now I'm supposed to give 1/3 of that to my siblings. Wait a minute.
Mrs. Smith doesn't like it when you cut up her Unifix cubes. So.
Yes. I don't think my teacher will appreciate me cutting this green portion into 3 pieces. So you know what? I'm going to regroup, and I don't like the hole that I have built. So I'm going to try again. And now I've used 10 Unifix cubes to represent my 4/5, still keeping the red as the part I don't have. But again, can't split that into thirds without cutting Unifix cubes. So I'm going to try one more time. Now I have 15 cubes, so I can split this into thirds. I'm going to regroup so that my whole looks better. So this is my 1 pound of chocolate. I don't have the red, which is 4/5, because I'm going to show you what my 5ths look like. There are my 5ths. Renee, I'll let you take my extras.
Okay.
So there are my 5ths. But Brian doesn't want to give 1/5 to his siblings. He wants to give 1/3 of what he has to his siblings. So I'm going to build 3 groups. If I'm a kid, I may have to fair share. I saw that there were 12, and so I could put 4 in each group. So now I need to give one of these thirds of what Brian has. This doesn't count for, he doesn't have that. 1/3 of what he has, I'm going to give to my siblings.
Thank you.
So when I give this, I have to know what this represents. It is 4/15. And now I do have to count the red because it's 4/15 of the pound. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I've cut it into 15ths. And I'm giving 4 of those to Brian's giving 4 of those to his siblings. So the answer would be 4/15 of a pound of chocolate.
Wow, and I always thought multiplication was easy. So I'm going to look at a different problem, and it's up on the screen for you now. It says I have 2 3/4 cups of rice. A serving size is 1/2 cup. How many servings can I make? And so I'm actually going to model a division because I'm going to start out with 2 3/4 cups. And since I know that I have 3/4 at the end of that, I'm going to make mine automatically out of 4 pieces, each of my cups out of 4 pieces. So I'm going to go with blue because it's my favorite color. So there's 1 cup. And here's a 2nd cup. and then here is 3/4 of a cup. But I also have to put the part of the cup that I don't have so that we know that it was there. I mean, that makes the other whole cup, but we only have 3/4 of it. So there's my 2 3/4 cups. Since a serving size is 1/2 of a cup, and what I'm looking for is how many serving sizes can I make? I'm going to divide this into 1/2 cup servings. So this would be a serving, this would be a serving, this would be a serving, and I'm going to keep making servings. But now look at this. I only have 1/2 of the next serving, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1/2 servings out of that 2 3/4 cups of rice.
So how many servings can you make?
I can make 5.5 servings of rice.
Right.
There you go. Division was actually kind of easy. Well, in this case, because I could make the halves out of fourths. If I had had some different denominators, I might have had to done a little more work like Tammy did.
Absolutely.
So there you go.
And, as we talk about that, it's really important. Can we still have kids write their number sentences? Absolutely. We would encourage you to do that. Start just with the modeling piece. Now, as a class, we can have that discussion about, and how would that look as a number sentence if we were to write it? And build from there to build to the rule.
Right. Transfer from the concrete to maybe, or the pictorial, to the abstract algorithm.
Absolutely. And that's a great reminder, Renee. Renee and I love concrete and encourage you to do that, but pictorial is another way some kids can really draw the awesome picture really quick, and that's super easy for them because they've got grid paper or graph paper in front of them that makes that very easy.
Right. So in this deck, we, again, have used multiplication and division as what the problems will be based upon, but we have done some other things in the deck as well. One of the requirements of the Common Core is that children be able to go from contextual to non-contextual or vice versa. And so we've included some non-contextual cards as well as some estimation cards. And so obviously we did exactly what we did in the Problem Solving 1 deck. We have fractions written as words. We have fractions written with the slash that they will see in everyday life just because of technology being what it is. And we also have done what the Common Core expects, which is to use the horizontal fraction bar with the numerator over the denominator. So we've got all of those representations in this deck as well.
And as a reminder, all of our decks come with a TAS sheet that's downloadable from the internet. Be sure that you go to that card and put in that URL and password. And in that TAS sheet, you will see the directions. In this TAS sheet, besides directions, we've also maybe given you some sequencing of questions to help you transition from whole number multiply to divide to fractional multiplication and division. Then given you a couple of models. Of
course, an answer key.
We've given you directions, and we've always given you an answer key to use along with our deck, because remember, these decks can be used in partners, in whole group, small group, lots of different ways. And if you choose to leave the answers out for your kids to check their work, that's something that you can do.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope we'll see you soon.